Hey everyone, welcome to the High Priestess Demari channel and to another collective reading. I hope you're all doing well. So we're just going to dive in and see what the Divine wants to relay. Keep in mind it is a general reading and it's also timeless. It's not going to resonate with every person watching. While I was getting ready, preparing for this reading, I was getting this message of show yourself grace, okay? Show yourself and others grace at this time because it's a very challenging time for a lot of people, okay? A lot of people are experiencing hardships, emotional turmoil, grief, bereavement, loss, trauma, okay? There's a lot that's happening right now in the collective, okay? It's not just what is actually transpiring now in terms of events, but what's also being dredged up by certain things coming to light or being surfaced to be healed, right? Or certain circumstances that trigger other memories, okay? So definitely showing yourself and others compassion and grace is going to be really important, okay? Because I can tell you from my own personal experience, okay? I know a lot of people in my personal life that are dealing with a lot right now, okay? There has been a lot of loss. So the energy is very heavy, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. It has weighed very heavy on my heart, okay? Whilst I've been going through my own process. But instead of avoiding the pain, I've just been accepting it and leaning into it, okay? And allowing myself to feel it so that I can come through it, okay? Because that's the key, you know? It's like when you're feeling like you're in this fog, right? And you can't see what lies ahead of you. You just feel the weight and the heaviness of it. The only way is through it, okay? So it's kind of the energy here. Is it all doom and gloom? Absolutely not. There are some very profound and positive changes happening as well. There are some things to celebrate, okay? So it's important to keep that in mind too. But it's just, yeah, it's very much a mixed bag energetically right now is what I'm feeling, okay? So if you are feeling any of that heaviness, then, you know, just show yourself some extra compassion, okay? And know that you will get through it. It's just something that you have to take day by day, okay? And if you're not, if you're actually feeling pretty good, if you feel like things have lifted significantly, then that's awesome, okay? Then that gives you an opportunity to show compassion and, you know, be a light in the life of others, okay? Because trust me, there's a lot of people that need it right now, okay? So let's see. Tell me what else the collective needs to know. Look, prosperity. So this is speaking on abundance. Abundance takes many shapes and forms, okay? Often when I see this card, yes, it can speak on like financial, you know, abundance, prosperity in that way. But I feel like I often get emotional fulfillment with this card, okay, personally. Because of the blue, because of these like flowers here. They look like the blue lotus, okay? And the blue lotus is very significant in ancient Egyptian times, okay? It was a status symbol. It was a symbol of wealth. It was a luxury item, okay? And yes, it was used in more hedonistic ways, right? But it was a status symbol, okay? So someone having a wealth of this flower, okay, just shows how prosperous they really are. So I feel like there may be some kind of badge of honor that you're receiving from the divine right now. That almost is like a flex, like a status symbol. But I don't feel like you're going to flash it like a flex, right? Like a status symbol. I don't think you're walking around like I am, you know, I am blessed, I am chosen by the divine, you know, to everyone that you cross paths with. It's not that. I just feel like there's something that's happening or something you're going to be bestowed or there's something that can be witnessed, okay, that happens in your life that is testament to the fact that, yeah, you're being given some kind of, I don't know, rank status from the divine, okay? So this could speak on like an upgrade in spiritual rank, something like that. And obviously there is going to be some form of abundance that comes with it, but I just feel like more than anything, it's more what makes you feel emotionally fulfilled, what makes you feel like your lifestyle is more reflective of where you're at in your spiritual journey, okay? So it's not necessarily about being surrounded by these expensive and luxury things. That can be the case for some of you, but I feel like more it's just being surrounded by the right things, okay? The right people, the right energy, the right environment, okay? The right tools, okay? The right furnishings, that sort of thing. I don't know. It just feels more grounded than that, okay? Which is what I'm getting. So it just feels like your reality is about to reflect where you're at on your journey, okay? That's what it feels like. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Because you've successfully completed this death rebirth process, okay? It's been a very intense one, as I say. And this has been coming up for quite some time. So this wasn't any small thing, right? This wasn't an overnight job, right? This was months in the making. This was months of intense transformation, okay? To the very core of your being. It's like, you know, a lot of your unconscious programming is being rewritten, even on a DNA level, right? You're changing on a cellular level. I even saw that card here when I was, when I was shuffling the deck, right? And getting them ready for the reading. So it's like you're transforming on all levels, mind, body, and spirit, okay? Even your heart space is being cleansed, purified, liberated in a major way, okay? So you're doing a lot of shedding and releasing. It's like you're putting an end to things that have already come to pass, okay? So that which is rooted in your past events, you're letting them go. You're seeing that it was a moment in time and that it's time to shed that. It's time to release it, okay? Because it served its purpose. It's taught you whatever it needed to teach you, or it's prepared you in a way that you are able to overcome various situations, okay? Whatever you could gain from it, okay, that would be of benefit to you, you've already received that. So it no longer serves purpose, so it's time to put it to bed. And that's what's happening, okay? So it can be very awkward, it can be very difficult and very painful, but it is the very thing that is liberating you and freeing you at the same time. So again, it's like what I was talking about, embracing the discomfort, embracing the pain, you know, embracing the unpleasantness, okay, in order to feel the lightheartedness, the weightlessness, okay, that comes with the catharsis, okay, that comes with the release as you come out the other side of this. And I feel like that's something you're going to start feeling more and more, okay, this catharsis, yeah. So I feel like the divine wants you to know, like, it's safe to leave what no longer serves you with them, okay? It's like you may need to actually mourn something in order to fully let it go, okay? So say, for example, if there was a passing, okay, if you lost someone dear to you, close to you, or someone that held significant importance in your life, okay, then, you know, you'll go through the proper burial rites and all of that, but it's also about going through the proper burial rites in your mind, in your emotions, okay, going through the grieving process and not trying to bypass it, okay, to save yourself from feeling the pain. It's part of it, right? That's kind of the energy I'm getting here. But that was just an example, but you can apply that to absolutely anything. It's like allowing yourself to go through the process so you can truly let it go, okay? And if this is, like I say, for example, if this is about releasing someone, then, you know, by allowing yourself to go through this process, no matter how long it takes, then, you know, you can let their spirit be at peace and know that, you know, you still have that link to their spirit, even if they're not with you in person. So it's, again, you just have to be really gentle with yourself, okay? Meditation could be very key at this time. This keeps coming up. Like, meditation would be beneficial, I feel, for a lot of people right now, because, you know, this is what's going to help you, right? Sort of ease through this process, because you're literally going through the death rebirth process still, okay? For those who resonate with this, okay, you're at different points, possibly. It's likely everyone's at different stages of this process. especially depending on how much you're willing to go through it, okay? So, and depending, of course, what needs to be shared, okay? There could be quite a lot that you're releasing right now. There could be a whole bunch of stuff that came up, okay? So it takes the time it takes, but know that as you essentially just allow it to be what it is and observe it from that place of knowing, okay? Because this is not your first, death, rebirth cycle, okay? You've had it many times in your lifetime. Then you know what is to follow, okay? And that is new life, okay? We have the Ankh here. This is new beginnings, okay? So this is about essentially being open to what can be and open to essentially what is currently unfolding in your reality, okay? Knowing that it's not the end, okay? It's not the end. All right. Whilst it may be the end of something, it's not the end of, potential. It's not the end of how things could unfold in your life or what's coming next, okay? It's just one thing is being laid to rest, so another thing could come into fruition. That's pretty much the energy. Tell me more. Look, perseverance, okay? So again, the stalk is often symbolic of life, new life, okay? We have the blue lotus here as well. So again, look, we have it here with happy renewal, okay? So you may even find that, as you come out of this process after this intense shedding, as you're like embracing the new energies that are coming forth, the new possibilities, and the ways in which your environment or your reality is shifting to accommodate the consciousness that you have now and the perspective you have now, the character that you willed at this point, okay? Because I do feel like it has definitely been very character building for you, okay? I've been getting that a lot as well. But it's like your perseverance through this is definitely being rewarded, okay? And it's being rewarded in a lot of abundance, okay, in various forms, but especially emotionally, like I say. It's like you're going to, instead of just seeing like the death of things, right, the ending of things like you have been recently, you're going to start seeing new things come into fruition, okay? New life, okay? New seeds, things starting to take shape, starting to bloom, okay? So the seeds that you already planted in the past, they are going to start yielding results, okay? It's just you've had an intense weeding period, is what I'm getting. But you are going to see things start to take shape in a very profound way that I feel like is going to replenish you in a major way as well, okay? Yeah, so there's definitely a strong energy of replenishment, okay? Because essentially there's a lot that's being cut away, cut back, released, shed, okay? To make room for all of this new energy to come in, okay? For all of these new possibilities, for all of these new doors that are opening to you, right? So there's definitely going to be like some kind of like growth spurt here, okay, with something that is directly connected to, I don't know, your spiritual stance, your spiritual rank, but also like the abundance that's coming in, the prosperity. Yeah, exactly. And what you may come to realize is that you were protected this whole time, okay? Throughout this whole process, this whole journey. You were never alone going through it, okay? The divine was gently guiding you through the process, okay? So this definitely feels like a very intense rite of passage, okay? We've had that come up several times on this channel. So for some of you guys, you've been going through a very deep, very profound rite of passage. It's not been easy. Your faith absolutely has been tested in many different ways. It's like the divine needs to see, like, because obviously you have some kind of calling here. You obviously have some kind of very powerful connection with the divine, okay? You obviously are meant to fulfill some kind of purpose here that is heavily connected to the divine. So it's like, they have to put you through through your paces. It's what I'm getting. It's like, it's almost like back in the day of ancient Egypt, right? If you're going to become like an initiate, okay, for the priesthood or the priestesshood, okay, you'd go through all sorts of trials and tribulations. You'd go through all sorts of healing processes, okay, in the divine chamber, okay. You know, where you'll be segregated, you'll be in a dark space, you'll be made to face your fears, you'll be made to face certain things about yourself, okay. It's like part of the purification process, right? But also shadow work was actually really big in ancient Egypt, okay. Yeah, it took on slightly different forms than how we look at it today, you know, through the psychological lens, but, you know, they absolutely believed in the power of shadow work and becoming acquainted with all aspects and parts of self. So there's a whole like rite of passage. There's a lot you have to study. There's a lot you have to unlearn. You know, there is a lot of training also involved. So it's a whole, you know, 360 approach, right? So I feel like that's what you've been going through. Hence you having the understanding that you hold now, okay? It's like without going through this rite of passage, you wouldn't hold the insight that you now have. You wouldn't know how to even apply that as wisdom because you wouldn't have a basis to work from. It's one thing to read upon something, but it's another thing to actually experience it and live it, okay? It gives you a whole nother perspective and a whole nother depth of understanding, right? And that's the point. Life isn't meant to be read, it's meant to be experienced. So that's what you did. You experienced it, okay? So hopefully this is making sense. But that's what I'm getting. So I feel like the reason why messages pertaining to this has been coming through very strong is to not only confirm, you know, this process you're undergoing and where you're at on that journey, but also to let you know, like, that it's not for naught, okay? And that you are guided, that you are so supported through all this, okay? Even the moments where you feel like, you know, the weight of the world is on your shoulders and you're alone dealing with this, okay? You're not. You're really not. The divine is just like constantly wanting to reassure you, like, we're here, okay? We see you, we know it's not easy, okay? But it's necessary. It's necessary. So I'm telling you, the journey you're traversing, if you resonate with this, is far from easy. And it's a road much less frequently traveled, okay? It's very intense because you go through a whole bunch of rites of passage, initiations. But it's not designed to break you down. It's designed to break down the barriers of your mind, okay? To liberate your mind so you can come into full awareness of your wholeness, of your completeness, of your own divinity, okay? So that you can rise to the occasion. But of course, when you've had a lifetime of programming, it's, you know, it's going to take a lot to undo a lot of that stuff, okay? You know, it's very intentional. It's by design. So, and especially to prepare you, to forge you into the being that you're essentially becoming, you know, in a way. Not that you're not already that person, but just it's like you're being forged so that, you know, you can truly show up in your authentic light, okay? And it's not even like, it's hard to explain because it doesn't even feel like you necessarily have a set task that you need to do. I feel like it's more like being, okay? Being what you are and showing up in that way. And exercising your skills in a way that's going to be beneficial and be of service in some shape or form, okay? That's what I'm getting. Yeah, we have the Knight of Cups, the King of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Ten of Cups. We have the Empress here and the Sun. Yeah, that's stalk energy, new life, okay? So some of you may even be entering a period of motherhood. There could be some of you that are pregnant right now, okay? So it's like you're being prepped by the divine, okay, to usher in this new life, to physically, literally birth new life into this reality. A divine child, okay, a sun child is what I'm getting. Yeah, this child is going to be very blessed, okay, for others of you. This is just speaking on you holding the frequency of the cosmic mother, okay, the sacred feminine, and how you're essentially going to shine lights, okay, be a source of light, a beacon in the world, okay, leading the way, pointing the way, guiding the way, reminding people of their own divinity, helping people get on their own path, okay, reminding people of their connection, their own connection to source, to the divine, to their guides, their ancestors, okay, yeah, to whichever benevolent and higher powers they feel called to connect with, yeah. But I definitely feel like part of you going through this process is to help awaken, okay? Is to help awaken by being awakened. And that's just by your presence. It's not that you have to like bring anyone to your line of thinking. That's not the point, okay? That defies the object of, you know, you being brought into these people's lives. It's just to be that beacon, okay? And to trigger a remembrance in others, okay? Yeah, this could even be members of your soul tribe or your family, like your biological family, that are awakening at this time as a result of you going through this process. So you've probably lifted a veil off of your bloodline, okay? So now they're able to see again. They're able to tap into their abilities again for some of you. Yeah, this could even be a counterpart that's going through an awakening as a result of you reaching this point in yours, okay? So it's like you reaching this point, Empress, the sun, okay? And being able to illuminate a lot to this person. It's like triggering a very profound awakening in another, okay? And this could be a divine counterpart or someone who has the potential to be with the lovers. Because the lovers speaks on choices, decisions, and potential. It doesn't speak on absolutes, okay? There are no absolutes. Only possibilities and probabilities, okay? Because everything's in flux all the time. And that's the problem. A lot of the time, we want absolutes. We want definitive answers. We can predict likelihoods, okay? And we can see what is likely to happen based on fate or destiny. But still, there's always that chance that something could be changed, right? The universe, after all, does work in very strange ways. And so, you know, people also do as well. You know, you'd be surprised how people can make a turnaround in the last moment when you least expect it. It does happen, okay? More often it doesn't, but it does happen. So, you know, that's why, you know, I just like to tap into the energies that are currently at play, right? Because it's going to be different for different people, depending on where they're at in their timeline, what's going on in their lives. And just make them aware of the likelihoods and the current trajectories and all of that sort of stuff, right? Because you've got to remember, like, we think everything is very set in stone and linear, but it's not. You know, we're operating on, you know, we're operating in a reality that is based on quantum possibilities and probabilities, okay? Like, you know, it's way more elaborate than that. Yeah. So interesting. You could be seeing 1010 a lot right now. So if there has been some kind of counterpart that's been dragging their feet, okay, when it comes to showing up in this connection, okay, I think this person was definitely not ready, okay? They definitely wasn't where you were at, especially if you're like this Empress energy, okay? Yeah, there could be someone who's realizing, like, you know, they had a lot of loose ends they needed to tie up first, okay? So it's like they're in the process of like going through this major awakening and tying up a lot of loose ends, whereas you are actually getting ready to receive like your abundance, okay? The Empress, the Sun, the Ten of Pentacles, this is huge, okay? So the Divine is basically saying like, this is what you've unlocked because you went through this. You didn't bypass it, you went through it. So it's possible that this person did try to spiritually bypass this whole process, okay? So you could say in a way they failed the test, okay? But it's not really that they failed. It's just they've got to go back and actually address all of the things that they've been avoiding and tie up all of these loose ends. That's kind of the energy here, right? So it's not really about passing or failing as such in this particular case. It's more that, you know, you can bypass it all you want, but you're just going to end up back at the drawing board. It's that sort of thing. Whereas if you're willing to see this all the way through, you know, then there is definitely going to be, you know, blessings at the end of it, okay? There's definitely a blessing, a huge blessing at the end of this tunnel, right? The light at the end of the tunnel is a huge blessing. This is unlocking your generational blessings, okay? It's like you've become that ancestor for future generations. That's amazing, especially if you have children or you are pregnant or you will have children, okay? So it's like you are the president, okay? You're the new president. You've set the new tone. So it's like these blessings are essentially unlocked with you. Wow. But like I say, you know, yeah, there is a financial aspect to it or a physical aspect to it, but it's so much more than that. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune. You literally changed the fate and destiny of your lineage, okay, by doing this work. So well done, okay? If you resonate with this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I feel like if you have a counterpart that's kind of stuck right now, yeah, I feel like they are going to come out of that energy, okay? Because with that Ace of Wands, I do see them, and especially with the King of Wands, I do see them finally taking the steps that they need to take, okay, in order to tie up these loose ends and actually begin this process properly. So this person is going through a major awakening and they're starting to respond accordingly, okay? But I just feel like this person is much further behind on this journey than you are, okay? Yeah, you may have ran from it or tried to bypass it yourself at some point, but I feel like obviously there was a point where you decided to just really dedicate yourself to this journey, okay? And you know, it's definitely paying off, okay? You could say that, but I feel like that's, you know, putting it mildly. I did see the Justice card, but yeah. The cards that actually fell on the floor was the Ace of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups. Oh, we have the Magician and the Justice. Okay, there it is. So, yeah, again, there's a very strong motherly energy here. So, again, you could very well be a literal mother, or you're just embodying the frequency and the energy of the sacred feminine, the divine mother is what I'm getting, okay? You are very much a vessel for that frequency, a conduit, okay? For the divine mother. You may have been connecting with certain goddess archetypes, okay, recently. Yeah, especially with that magician, it's like you are literally a conduit for it, okay? It's like you're like you've got like a very powerful divine antenna, okay? So you're able to pick up that frequency, you're able to pick up their messages very, very strongly, okay? And actually be a container for that frequency. So again, this could be part of your transformation, the death, rebirth, the purification process, the heart, you know, being weighed on the scales between, you know, your heart and the weight of a feather, okay? So it's like the heaviness that's been on your heart is being lifted, okay? Yes, you'll still feel it at times because you're still going through it, okay? But it is definitely, the heaviness is definitely being lifted, okay? You are transforming and transmuting it because, like I say, you're not avoiding the pain. You're letting yourself feel it. You're allowing yourself to go through it is what I feel, okay? So that you can let it go. Because you don't want to carry the weight of whatever has been troubling you or has hurt you or that has caused you, you know, suffering in some shape or form. Sorry if you hurt my stomach then. I need to go get some food. But yeah, you know. So this is big, you know. So this is definitely speaking on spiritual liberation, okay, and how it's impacting and about to massively impact your physical reality, okay. So you essentially have realized that not only are you a conduit of the divine, that you have this very deep connection to the divine, and you're able to transmute, transform, alchemize any energy situation that you find yourself in, okay? You're able to establish balance, okay? You yourself are coming into a new form of balance, equilibrium, okay? Especially as you integrate these powerful changes that are happening within. And I feel like whatever fears, doubts, concerns, worries you had, okay, whatever was pressing on you, weighing heavy on you, or that has been painful for you, I feel like you're being liberated from it, okay, with that judgment. Again, you're putting it to rest. I'm getting like a proper burial, okay? Burying those things, you know, laying them to rest, but doing it in like almost, it's not like a ritual obviously, but it feels almost ritualistic, like when you put, you know, when you attend a funeral, right? It's that kind of thing. It's like a funeral for the things that are weighing you down, or for the things that no longer serve purpose, okay, so that you can be liberated, so you can be free, so you can soar, okay, so that you can reach these new heights, so you can be welcomed into the frequency and the sort of kingdom of paradise or heaven, you know, but it's more symbolic and energetic than it being something like physical, right? But yes, you'll see physical changes as a result of it, right? So, yeah. So again, there's a lot of things being shed at this time, okay? Yeah, there could be some kind of partnership, okay, that's coming to an end, or there could have been a couple, okay, that had a direct impact in, I don't know, some kind of suffering you were experiencing, or some kind of pain or betrayal, okay? There could have been someone that put you in a third-party situation or something like that. And if that's the case, I feel like they're regretting their actions now, okay? They're regretting it now. This person themselves could be going through some kind of heart chakra opening, awakening, okay? And it's making them look at things very differently, okay? I feel like, again, this person could have some emotional wounding of their own that they've been avoiding and been trying to mask that, possibly with materialism, okay? Yeah, but that can't continue anymore with the Hanged Man in the Tower. Yeah, that's being completely shattered, so that's divine intervention for you, okay? It's like you can only mask your pain with, you know, tangible things for so long, you know, until the divine literally comes along and brings a sledgehammer to everything. So I feel like that's what's happening. But it's to help this person actually heal. That's the point. It's not to torture this person, even if they weren't the kindest to you, or if they did betray you, or, you know, was the cause of some kind of suffering. I feel like this person themselves didn't know that they were actually suffering, and they were acting from that place or projecting that energy out onto you, okay? So now they're coming to realize that, and I feel like this person does actually feel genuine remorse, okay, for the way that they dealt with a situation involving yourself, okay? So a lot of awakenings happening across the board, okay? Even people that you didn't anticipate would be going through an awakening are, okay? Yes. And this is because collectively healing needed to occur. So I definitely feel like the more destructive energies at play are definitely being transmuted here, okay? This is like the energy of Apophis, okay? Which is like the unmaker, the destroyer. But it's like the divine is nipping it in the bud, because, yeah, rather than it being chaotic and destructive, the divine actually wants to trigger healing, okay? Because things have gone a little bit out of hand, okay? So I feel like that's what's happening. It's like the divine is basically making their move to trigger healing, okay? So yes, it can happen in very uncomfortable, unpleasant ways, but it does actually serve the purpose. It does actually invoke a change, okay, where people actually start to focus on healing and why it's so important. So that's what's happening collectively. So again, you may be shocked at how certain people are starting to realize, okay, why you've taken the path you have, why it's so important, and they're actually now having to start their own processes, okay, go through their own process of healing. So any parting advice for the collective? Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Yeah, so again, you know, your energy is a lot larger than I think you even realize. So you're not supposed to keep yourself in a container, okay? You're not meant to play it small, play it safe. That's why you have to embrace the discomfort, because I don't feel like you necessarily like being seen to the extent that you really exist, okay? I know that sounds a bit weird, but it's true. And I think it's because, like, it's not because you're feigning, like, being humble or anything like that. It's just, I don't think it's even about, like, trying to fit in. I feel like it's more that, you know, you're not flashy. Like, you don't want to make others feel bad or make others feel insignificant, right? Because they're not at that point in their journey, right? But again, you can't shrink yourself to make others feel comfortable. You know, they either have to do the work and rise to the occasion themselves, or they don't. And, you know, I'll admit, you know, I understand that entirely. That's something that I've been personally grappling with myself. So I'm not, like, having a dig or anything. Like, I can totally relate to that. You know, because you think that you're more accessible that way, or it's not even that you necessarily want to be more accessible, because obviously, you know, you have to be discerning, but it's just, you know, you feel like, you know, you're more approachable that way. Let's put it that way, right? But no, okay? The divine is saying, you know, you are who you are, and you need to take up the space that you take, okay? You need to show up fully, okay? Not partially, because that doesn't serve, okay? So it's time. So I feel like a lot of us are being called to do this, okay? Look, Sisterhood of the Rose. So again, if you resonate with this, you probably are on a very similar journey to myself. Everyone's journey looks different, but it's like, you know, you're having to really step it up now, okay? You know, it's that kind of energy. Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. This is what I mean, okay? You have a very significant calling. So, you know, you guys, you know, I've been connecting with some new energies, obviously some of my community members that have been with me from the beginning or even for quite some time, okay? I can tell which of you guys, you know, are really like, you know, on my wavelength when it comes to this. You know, I'm not trying to say like, oh, people don't get it. No, it's not like that. I just mean like people who literally could be part of my soul tribe. I feel like I have actually connected with some people on here that are definitely part of my soul tribe. So those who know who you are, welcome, okay? It's wonderful to have connected with you. And yes, you are seen and you are loved and you're doing amazing things, okay? So keep going. So a lot of you guys are definitely coming into the space of recognizing that you are meant to teach, guide, support, heal, that you're meant to be a light in the world. It can take many different forms. Everyone feels like they can express that differently, okay? But I do think you carry this really innate, beautiful frequency within you, okay? Like you are a beautiful being, regardless if you're male, female, you know, your gender, your sex, your background, it doesn't matter. Like you just carry such a beautiful energy. You are beauty, okay? It's just who you are. So I feel like you're meant to share that with the world. Yeah, break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. That's what you've been doing already, okay? And I feel like you know deep within your core, okay, with Trust and Niggle, what is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? That it's time, okay? Like your soul wants to expand outwards. It's ready to like take the lead, okay? Put it that way. So it's just a matter of being willing to unleash, okay, who you are into this world. And it sounds like intense, but not in a bad way, but just show up, okay? That's literally it, okay? Rather than trying to suppress, okay? But I think for a lot of us now, I mean, obviously it's different for different people. I don't even feel like it's necessarily about repression. It's more just like, you know, easing out of the shell, right? Something like that. Mirror, who or what is triggering you? Yeah, definitely take note of your triggers right now, because that in itself is trying to teach you or show you something. Yeah, you may see Sabelle. I think she wants to go out, so I'm about to wrap the reading up anyway, so I'll open the door for it in a sec. But yeah, take notice of what is triggering you right now. That's your spirit trying to tell you, like, hey, stop playing it small, okay? Like, it's time for us to break out. It's time to do the thing, okay? So yeah, just do the thing. Express yourself, okay? Show up in the way you feel called to do so. And I'm telling you, you're going to feel a lot lighter for it, okay? So I hope this helps. Thank you so much for checking this reading out. If you did find it useful, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click the notifications bell and click all so you don't miss any of your upcoming readings. But for now, take care of yourselves, okay? Again, show yourself and others grace. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye.